Geek Fuzz.
Hi, my name is Anna, and I'm a singer.
Hi, my name is Peyton, and I'm a dancer.
And today, what are we doing today?
Today, we are back with another kind of late comeback reaction, and we're gonna get to listen to more band music, so you know we're both very happy because we're reacting to ONEWE today!
Yes, so today we are reacting to ONEWE's comeback that happened earlier in this week. Sorry we're a few days late. If you have been following our socials or community posts, you know that I was on vacation this week, so we are filming this very shortly after I have just gotten home. ONEWE's comeback is called Rain to Be, 비를 물고 오는 소년. It's not the same thing.
Not the same thing.
But obviously leading up to this, we watched the teaser, so we kind of know what to expect, and we have very vigilantly tried to avoid seeing any spoilers on like Twitter or Instagram. I said tried. That being said, let's go! Ah yes, the guitar. Oh my god, wait, but the posing.
I was gonna say, the way that the picture's framed, and with the...
Yeah, the two of them in the center. I guess the nice thing about being a little late is that there's subtitles when we're watching it. Oh. Oh. Stomps.
Yeah, the performance quality.
The way you feel the beat has changed like multiple times already. Oh. That's really cool. I'm gonna get really anxious as the water keeps rising.
I'm already starting to feel it.
Oh.
My heart's like...
I mean, not just because of like the instruments, but also all the sound equipment and like the...
Exactly, I was like, oh my God.
Oh, but the shot when the water splashes up to the camera is cool. Those.
When it's like half under two.
This is so light. I feel like it's not a ONEWE reaction unless I call you out for guitar solo. I'm sorry.
It hurts my heart.
I have thoughts about the symbolism, meaning of the song, but I don't want to say it on camera unless I'm wrong. That was a very abrupt ending.
Yeah, so we'll get the embarrassment out of the way. So like Anna said during the reaction, it's not a ONEWE reaction if she doesn't make fun of me or call me out for my reaction to Kanghyun and his guitar solos at least once. Along that train of thought, let's just go ahead and say it. Kanghyun's guitar solo. My heart Definitely my favorite part of the song. It made me think of this comment that I saw because we really were good about avoiding most spoilers, but I saw this one tweet and it was just a picture of Kanghyun's face from the live stage they did today, and the comment was like, who's the guitarist with the turquoise hair? And I was like, I wrote that. I ghost wrote that. Okay, so on to more serious things. Let's talk about the water symbolism before I pass it over to Anna to talk about the song. So water is a great way, just in general, to convey emotions. And this one thing they're conveying is obviously like being filled up by an emotion until there's really no space left. Like we say, we're overcome by our emotions in the same way that water like fills something up and then overflows. And that's what I was taking from it if you just watch the music video without like reading the lyrics or anything. I mean, in connection to the song too, I thought there were some really interesting moments because obviously like praying for you to come, it's sort of like when people pray for water in a drought. Useless and disappointing. But obviously it's like they're talking about praying and like waiting for you to come the way that people would pray and wait for like rain to come in a drought or something. And then I also really liked the line about like an inevitable love, because rain is very inevitable, especially in summer, especially in Korea, right? Oh,
monsoon season. Oh
yeah,
my
god,
god,
monsoon season.
How could I forget? Okay.
But also it just creates really impactful moments for the performance, like the stomping of course, but the one that really stuck out to me the most was when it showed Harin and he's hitting his drums and the water is like bursting off of it. I don't know why, but that really like hit me hard. I was like, I feel the emotion. Last thing about the water that I wanted to say, I do think it's kind of funny because while I was waiting for Anna to take notes, I was just watching the song and thinking about Wonwi and how much I love Wonwi. It like reminded me, I remember seeing somewhere around the time we first got into Wonwi that for some reason whenever they have comebacks, it's usually really rainy. And I just think that's really funny. So I wonder if that has anything to do with it, because then I was thinking about the lyrics, like waiting for someone to come in the rain. Is it like fans waiting for Wonwi to come in the rain? But yeah, so obviously I really enjoyed the song. I can't really put my fingers on how it felt different from their previous like performances, but thinking about the live stage that I just watched, it feels a little bit like rougher, gruffer. And then just the song in general was really enjoyable, and I'm excited to listen to it again once we're finished and to listen to the whole mini album because I really liked the highlight medley. So, Anna's turn!
Hello, so it's time for my comments, and I'm gonna apologize in advance if I start rambling because I'm very sleep deprived after vacation. Now let's start! One thing that was really strong about the vibes of this song, prominent right from the start, even when I watched the teaser, was incorporating the more sort of like stripped back Spanish guitar, and like that vibe and style of music like with that sort of guitar is something that you very often associate with like a summer song, even though like the meaning of this song and like the lyrics is not really what you would see in a summer song. The style and like sort of upbeat is very like summer. I guess sort of a random throwaway comment, something that I noticed in the beginning and Wonwi chooses a lot to do in their songs is leaving like the shifting between the frets, that sound in. And especially you hear it in like the verses, like at the very beginning you hear it a lot. I think it like helps add to the sentimental factor because like, I mean, in the lyrics of the song, it's a lot of like longing. Like I mentioned though, like the song is more upbeat, like it doesn't stop moving. Even in the more like stripped back sections like the verses, it's constantly moving, like that guitar line is constantly moving, even if like the beat that Harin is keeping is very like straightforward. And like yes, the stripped back sections are kind of a little bit of relief because it's like not lower energy level because they still have a lot of energy, but subdued, I guess. But even then, it's not a complete break, so then there's like the tiny pockets of silence, like transition moments. I guess they're like those small pockets that help give you a little bit of a break. But talking about the structure of the song for a little bit, it's interesting because for one thing, it seems like they have a third verse before they go into the bridge, Kia's rap section. Although it is like much more upbeat than the rest of the verses have been. Maybe it's just like a rap interlude. You could also, maybe some people would call it like the first half of a bridge. But another thing that I thought was interesting was usually in songs between the first verse and the first verse will be like 2 stanzas and then the second verse will be 1 stanza. But it was reversed this time, so I just thought that was really interesting. And then also the outro of the song, after the final chorus, is essentially just the chorus again, but the lyrics are changed to be sort of like a response. And it really is just like concluding the story. But then the ending of the song is very abrupt, like I said in the reaction, because like it's been moving the whole time, and then all of a sudden it just stops. And it is a fade out ending, but it's not like those really milked out sort of fade out endings you would think of, which speaking speaking of, there was like a lot of reverb that I noticed in the choruses, which I found was interesting because like in the choruses it's so like upbeat sort of hype, but then there would all of a sudden at the end of a stanza section be a really sort of milked out reverb fade out, and I was like, oh, the last thing that I was going to talk about was sort of touching on the beat changes that I mentioned. It's very straightforward beat in the beginning, and then like in the pre-chorus it feels really anthem-y because they have the whole like stomp stomp clap thing going on, and then it gets more upbeat for the chorus, and then the second half of the chorus when they're doing the na na nas, it goes into like double time instead of 1 2 3 4, the 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then like the trendier beat for the second verse, which also is interesting because usually they do like the trendy beats for when Kia is rapping, except they were still singing at that moment. I hope any of these comments made sense. I'm really sorry. I'm done.
You don't have to apologize, it makes sense. All TLDR.
Thank
Elena
you.
has her meltdown. So TLDR is ONEWE is back with more music. We're so pumped to listen to the rest of the mini album. We both enjoy the title track, obviously. Name a title track ONEWE has put out that we haven't enjoyed. I'll wait.
Name a song that we've listened to.
That ONEWE has put out that we haven't enjoyed. I'll wait. None, exactly.
Thank you.
They, as always, have put out something that's just really interesting musically. They're trying some new things this time, which is really fun to see, even if it's like things we've seen just in a different way. As always, they still perform. I don't ever want to hear someone say a band doesn't perform when a whole ONEWE exists.
That being said, if you enjoyed this reaction video and also love ONEWE's comeback, be sure to follow us on our socials and we can talk about it there. They're linked in the cards in this corner. But also be sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn on your notification bell, and bye!